Yeah, I am ready.
Rin Itoshi is a fraud. With me here today, I have Aiden, a fellow Blue Locker.
Yeah, I am a fellow Blue Locker, but also a fellow Rin fan. However, after the events of Chapter 347, I can say for a fact that Rin's character has completely went into a nosedive.
You heard it here first, folks. Aiden, why don't you present us with the first fact as to why Rin Itoshi is a bum and a fraud?
So in order for us to understand why Itoshi Rin is a fraud, we first have to look at, how Rin first started off. So Rin Itoshi was introduced in chapter 40, where he does like that crazy thing where he kicks like a soccer ball and both of them collide in the air. Like, not gonna lie, as a first feat, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows why, Rin can be considered a number one. Especially since he shares the same last name as Itoshi, who is Itoshi, in my opinion. He's definitely top 3 New Gen 11. I don't care. I actually, no, top 4. Top 4.
Top 3 is a little crazy.
I mean, we don't know like the matchup between like Hugo versus Sai. I mean, I've never seen Sai go like truly all out, so I have like no idea if
that is true.
Sai would win. However, let's talk about the first match that Rin is ever in. So, obviously, like, Rin gets scored on at the beginning by Isagi. And Isagi's like, hell yeah, we could definitely beat this guy. And Rin's like, hell no. And what's it called? And Rin's first ever goal was a half-court shot.
Which is crazy, because, like, okay, yes, you have to realize the courts were smaller, but, like, still. The only other character in the series that could make those shots was Baro, and even he was missing half the time.
Yeah, Baro's range was like around like the 30, like, I forget, like, no, not 30, it was like 27, 28 meter mark. I don't know, you have to fact check me on that. I'm not too versed into Baro's shooting range.
27, 28, yeah.
Yeah. But that right off the bat shows that Rin is a character that, like, we thought, like, Nagi was kind of crazy. Even Nagi was like, is that even legal in soccer?
Bro, like, there's just, like, nah, it's not.
Dormammu.
It's actually crazy. Hold on, Pedro, come back in, like, 15-ish minutes. We're exposing Rin Itoshi for being a fraud.
Oh, okay.
But
all right.
No. So okay, on top of all this, when Rin is first introduced, we do not see heads nor tails of the being known as Destroyer Rin.
Yeah, Rin at this time, he was more of like just a depressed emo more than anything. Obviously, he calls Isagi lukewarm. He doesn't even view him as a threat, if I'm going to be honest. And also Rin steals Bachira away from Isagi. So now Isagi actually has to, he has to play with Nagi, and he has to try to work his way up back to Rin. Which honestly, I like the arc a lot. Not gonna lie,
it was a really good arc. Isagi working up to fight Rin, great arc. Love it. Honestly, top 3 of Blue Lock, I would say, that arc. Because Isagi gets so much better, so much faster. Like, it is actually insane, the improvement that he has.
And so when they rematch, some things I pointed out is that in chapter 74, like, Isagi literally called, like, Rin having infinite dribble possibilities. I don't know if you remember that panel. Like, Isagi literally says just by himself, he's a monster with countless possibilities in his arsenal.
I do remember this.
Which, honestly, I think that it should still hold up to this day. I don't think Rin is honestly a bad dribbler at all. But, like, infinite possibilities... I mean, during the France match, I think he only did one dribble move, and that was it. Oh yeah, shoot. Sorry for my language. This is a kid-friendly channel.
It's fine. I can.
Yeah.
I'll be editing. But, like...
And also, one thing that we also see as well is that Rin's awareness is also on par with Isagi's. And in chapter 77, we actually see a stat sheet where it shows Isagi's like analyzing like everyone's weapons. It's him, Nagi's, and Rin's. And on the awareness thing, Isagi and Rin are the exact same. However, when it comes to everything else, Rin just diffs him
Yep.
and Nagi in like almost every other category.
It
So
like
in order for what's it called? Sorry. In order for Isagi to beat Rin, he comes up with an idea where like he just needs to attack Rin's like weak points in order to beat him. However, that doesn't effing work
mhm.
because that's when we get introduced to Puppeteer Rin.
Puppeteer Rin is easily one of the coolest like characters that we have seen in Blue Lock at the moment. Like it also, again, important to note, Rin is the #1 in Blue Lock at this time, undisputed. Like
Yeah. Oh, I should have stated that. Yeah.
there's not a single character that like is given that level of respect or at that level. So to see what he could do as Puppeteer Rin, even like especially during their last match, like the last match of the second selection,
Yep.
insane, to
Yeah.
see what Puppeteer Rin could do.
And how Isagi describes Puppeteer Ren, he's described as like being able to use both his opponents and allies to manipulate the entire field, which
Mm-hmm.
was shown when like he just passed it to Bachira and like just outmaneuvered Isagi entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ren's spatial awareness at this time was easily on pars with Isagi. But obviously, like, you know, as the show goes on, Isagi definitely gets way better at spatial awareness to now I think Rin just loses all his spatial awareness.
Yeah.
I think he lost that ability over time.
Yeah, no, easily. That goes without saying. Rin has yet to like show that he's got the same eyes that he used to, because like Rin arguably like Puppeteer Rin was like low key looked like to be a Metavision user, and now I don't even know what
He really
uses.
was. He is a I mean, well, spoiler alert, he's a Predatorite user, but he doesn't get that ability just yet.
And honestly, you could not tell with how he's been performing recently.
One thing I also noted down about this rematch match was this was also the first match where Rin was beaten by Isagi. Obviously, Rin wasn't like that pressed about it when I was reading through it, like not as he is like today, but like he's like, ah, I kind of have to wake up and actually start trying this match,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously he does show that. And then the only reason why he wins that match was just because of the luck
Mm-hmm.
thing that occurred where Isagi blocks Bachira's shot, and it just so happenly, you know, landed on Rin's feet.
Yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
it's all right. I mean, Isagi needed to lose to, what's it called? Shoot, I'm losing my words. I mean, Isagi, obviously, he kind of needed to lose because if Isagi was on par with the #1 already in the series, like it wouldn't be that interesting to read.
Exactly. Yeah, like there was no universe in which Isagi was going to win against Rin in that fight. But like the fact that he was getting closer, I think it was just supposed to show how fast he was developing, because that's that's the scariest thing about Isagi, how fast he like things click for him.
And obviously Rin at the end, he's like, what's it called? You're gonna have a front row view of my ascension to the world's #1, which obviously is Aura.
Yep.
Because it's like he just wants to like he knows that Isagi has potential, but he doesn't view Isagi as better at him at all. Like not even close at this point.
There's
I'm gonna oh sorry.
There's literally
I was gonna say I'm gonna skip the World 5 thing because that doesn't really do much for anyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
the world like Rin scored, but he had the entire team supporting him, and
yeah,
like,
and he was only one of 2 strikers that scored.
Yeah,
which obviously the other one is Shido, which gets introduced this arc during the 3rd selection.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I did put some notes in the 3rd selection, just some things, just as like obviously this is the first time Rin and Shido were paired together,
right?
Which is gonna suck because this pairing keeps on biting them in the ass throughout obviously the 3rd selection, but obviously during later in the series during the PXG match. But anyways, like Rin's goals during the 3rd selection were actually pretty clean, not gonna lie. And
Yeah.
during chapter 99, we actually get to see the first time Rin kind of uses Predator Eye. Not obviously it's called not Predator Eye because he didn't come up with the concept yet. But he basically does like a curve shot like around Chigiri,
Which is like,
which was
again, like this is
amazing
this
shot.
exactly, and this is where we see like peak Rin Itoshi, where he is at his like he's calm, cool, collected the entire time. The tongue is in his mouth. Like
Yeah.
this is good Rin. This is like this all builds a specific character type for Rin, and that is
Yeah.
that he is always calm-headed. He does not lose he doesn't lose it very easily. I guess we see a little bit of it when he and Shido fight, but that's because he and Shido are almost one and the same.
They kind of were. Like, I have a bunch of like images of them just colliding together. They collide with each other a lot, and we do see Rin get pissed, but not like as pissed as he gets later on.
But it's not.
It's just really funny.
Also, can I just say, Puppeteer Rin was pissed at Shido for the same thing Rin just did to Asagi.
Yup.
Like, this is how bad he's gotten.
But like, actually, it might have been worse actually, because like there are parts where they honestly like they just collide with each other when they're trying to shoot a goal. And it almost costed them the first group stage match because they were down by 2 points against Cross's team. But because of how good Shido and Rin are during this time, I mean,
there
was no way in hell Karasu was gonna win that.
Yeah, no, there was no way. But this is like, have you covered everything you wanted from this selection? Because I would like
almost. The only thing that I do want to mention is that this is also another time where Isagi beats Rin, quote unquote, but Rin doesn't get pissed about it or anything. He's like, shoot. But like he doesn't like freak out or anything.
Yeah.
And then now we enter the U20 World Cup arc. Obviously, like Rin is the CF in Blue Lock.
Yep.
And it's not even a dispute at this point in the series. He just flat out is the best striker in Blue Lock. And obviously Shido goes to the U20 Japan team to play on Sai's team. And that's where I actually have the first time in chapter 110 when Rin starts to get a bit mad when he's training with Isagi. And Isagi's like, what the heck like, I've never seen this side of Rin. Yeah. And oh boy, this side of Rin is gonna change his character. Kind of for the worst. Yeah. And now the U20 match starts.
The U20 match begins. And honestly, Rin's not moving horribly. Yes, we know he has like issues with his brother. Sai makes that goal, and things ain't looking great for old Blue Lock.
Yep. I have a direct quote where it's like, after Sai does that goal, Rin's like, in 90 minutes, I'll turn those cheers into screams of anguish. I'm like, oh dang, Rin, you kind of weren't taught. I mean, he was a bit like emo, but not like he's turning into Green Day right now. This is getting concerning. Like when Sai's on the field, he's kind of like acting like a different person.
Yeah.
And now like oh sorry.
No, go ahead. It's just like this is where we start to see Rin's calm, cool, and collected facade damn near completely crack and burn, because as soon as Sai makes that goal, he starts to go a little crazy with it, because he tries making his little shot. And was it a smart idea of a shot? No.
No. I mean, the play to making up to that position was actually good, because this is the first time where we see the Isagi-Rin duo dribble up the field. Which, I mean, the Isagi-Rin duo at this time, it was more of a one-sided relationship where Isagi kind of was hugging Rin throughout this match. Yeah. When I was like looking back, I'm like, dang, Isagi's always like behind him or in front of him. So Rin kind of has his personalized merchant with him. So he can basically just like, as long as Isagi is with him, like he always has an option to pass it to him. Yeah. However, when I was reading through this match, I think Rin, he only uses Isagi as a decoy, which is really funny. I thought he'd like passed it to Isagi a couple of times, but he kind of doesn't. But obviously, like in chapter 117, I think I have a note down where he does that goal where he tries to replicate Sai. This is
Mhm.
the first instance of Postman Itoshi.
Yeah.
Now, before that shot was made, like
Postman Itoshi is actually crazy.
yeah, because it's like he did such a weird shot, but obviously he just wanted to show that he was on par with his brother,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not really. Like we can definitely see that Rin's emotions are kind of being taken over a bit, which is really concerning for his character. Because obviously, for someone who's so calm, cool, and collected, all of a sudden doing such risky shots that like someone like Shido would do,
Yeah.
like it's kind of weird.
It like
And then
it definitely is like a it's like a
yeah,
he acted like Borrow at that moment. You know what I mean?
yeah, he honestly kind of did. And then I actually have a very funny panel. What's it called? Isagi's like, it's too bad you didn't score, but it was still a great play. Maybe next time I'll go for it. And Rin's like, shut up, you're making fun of me or something. There's no I had to censor myself. Oh my god, he swears a lot.
Is this like this is after U20, right? Or is this
No,
like
this is after Nagi scored.
you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right.
And like Isagi's like glazing him is like, oh, thanks to your play. It's like oh wait, oh Rin interrupted him. Wow, Rin's so rude right now. He's like, who cares? You were also trying to score, weren't you? You stuck to me like, geez, man.
Yeah.
There's so much swearing in this. But it's like one thing Rin noted about Isagi's playstyle is that he was glued to him. However, when Isagi sees like a chance to score a goal, he actually peels off of Rin. So
Yeah.
Rin's kind of like he's kind of like, man, this distorted relationship is how you and I should be, because like they're devouring each other to achieve their own goals,
Mhm.
which is really funny because based off of chapter 347, I think Rin was kind of following that ideology to like a T, which is kind of nuts. Because I didn't even
Yeah.
realize like back then it's like Rin, like both Rin and Isagi were just still trying to devour each other, which is cool. The author still kept it that way, like even now. However, Rin in chapter 347, it's not the same. I'll state that
No.
right now. And then afterwards, obviously the Rin versus Sai battle happens. Obviously, Sai beats Rin and then
Yeah.
probably shatter his ego.
And it
And then like
like
after, oh yeah, what
it's
were you about
like
to say?
this is where this is the first time we've really seen Rin get like challenged like this. So it's like
Yeah,
it's rough to see for any Rin fan.
it really is. However, like even though it was rough for him, he actually did score like relatively. Like he literally scored next chapter, which was interesting. And how he scored, he basically used Isagi as a decoy, so it would like mess up Aiku's perception. But Aiku was kind of like on him. However, Rin does like that crazy curve goal, like with his right foot. So honestly, he did a pretty good goal there. Obviously, he had like the opportunity to use Isagi as bait, and honestly, he beat Aiku, which for the time, Aiku was a good defender, but now Aiku can't even, catch the train or what's it? I think he kind of plays dodgeball now from how the recent chapters are treating him compared to now. But obviously, it goes into Rin's backstory. Obviously, it shows Rin's ego kind of starting to flow up. Well, obviously, like I'm not gonna go too into his backstory. We all know that Sai just beats the crap out of him, and he's just not gonna follow that striker dream anymore. Which obviously, after seeing Rin now, makes a lot of sense. If Rin can't even score a goal against the best team, even though Rin's supposed to be number one. But anyways, oh my god, man, my throat's getting dry. Mm. You know what's funny about the U20 match? We actually don't see Rin really do much in the second half. So because once Shido gets introduced into this match, it goes like a lot of back and forth, and Rin's just kind of just sitting there, just kind of being pissed at everyone. Because we're kind of seeing Rin just starting to play a lot more selfishly, and in chapter 134, it's very apparent that he's doing that because Rin's also being pressured by Aiku again, and Isagi's like, Rin, just pass it to me, and Rin just doesn't, and it causes the ball to get swept from him, and it gets to Sai, which obviously, when the ball gets to Sai, it's kind of GG. But anyways, that was just one moment I want to point up because that also kind of shows how like egotistical Rin is from before, where he was able to control the fields to now being pressured in a 1v1 and losing. Rin is losing in a 1v1 now against the defender.
And
that's kind of crazy.
I would also like to just add into this that Rin's goal in the U20 match, that was not current Rin, that was puppeteer Rin.
It was still puppeteer Rin.
That was puppeteer Rin scoring that goal because he used the players around him and made it work. So just once again showing that like it works.
It does work. But like it was a very risky goal. It's just that it was literally only because Isagi was there, like acting as a decoy. It did allow Rin to get that opportunity. And if Isagi wasn't there, I don't think Rin was scoring that. Because it would have been Aiku would have just been able to pressure him a lot more. So when we skip a bit forward to like when the score's 3-3, Rin finally decides to wake up during this half. Because my god, he kind of disappears a bit during this match. And so now like Rin's kind of just pissed and he's like, I'm gonna devour Isagi. And like that cool aura panel happens.
Yeah.
Where they're both like saying, I'm about to devour you. Obviously, Sai is also trying now, and he dribbles past the whole field.
Yep.
Like Rin tries to stop him, but he's like, I can't do it. And this is where we get the first instance of Destroyer Rin.
Yeah.
And however, this was impartial Destroyer, because during this time, Rin was focused on thinking about like how to be like Sai. Because obviously they shared the same blood, so of course he's like, man, I if we share the same blood, if I just think like him, I'll be able to, you know, stop his play. Which he does. He gets a concussion from getting kicked in the head by Shido.
Which is still like a crazy way to go.
Yeah, and I think this takes rid of all of Puppeteer Rin's abilities. Because this is like the last time where Rin is kind of calm and calculated.
Yeah.
He kind of just starts to freak out after this.
He did not like getting kicked in the head. Let's just be real.
He really didn't.
Because it's just watching his downfall during this match, or at least watching it start, is so crazy because with the way he's moving during this match, it's genuinely hype. Like the way he's getting past the defenders and the way he's like starting to move like a top level striker, but also it's still Rin. Like it's like the yin and yang Itoshi brothers. One's calm collected, the other is just insane. Like there's just there's nothing in this match that really indicates why he should play like this, other than I'm just gonna play the opposite of my brother because playing the same doesn't feel like it's working. And also, the entire reason Berserker Rin started was because Rin just made a wrong call.
Yeah, because of how sorry.
Isagi gets the stop, Isagi gets the save and blocks Shido from headbutting it, and Rin's like, should have been me. It should have been me.
Yeah, because when that whole sequence happens, Rin is still thinking like Sai. Like he's just trying to replicate Sai, which to be fair, Puppeteer Rin is kind of just a replication of Sai.
Yeah.
But like it's just a weak imitation of it. Sai is still just overall the better player when it comes to a play style like that. Obviously, when Destroyer Rin happens, I just want to mention like how it builds up. Because like Rin at this time was like he accepted the fact that he was gonna lose to Sai because he saw no way of Shido being stopped, but because Isagi stopped it, Rin's kind of like, man, Blue Lock doesn't leave me alone, and then everyone's like, oh, Rin, man,
and then Rin's
they don't want me to be alone,
and then Rin just loses his mind because Rin
he doesn't like the power of friendship.
No, he does
and he's
not.
Like, disgusting. I'm gonna crush you to pieces.
And then, like, obviously, we get towards the end of this match, and Isagi gets the goal because Rin defended Sai, which, like, this is a plus minus, I guess, for Rin, because on one hand, he did defend Sai. Like that is a good feat there. Like whether or not Sai was trying, whether or not like whatever, right? But at the end of the day, he defended Sai, and
I was about to say, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say real quick, I just want to talk about like just what Destroyer Rin did in that moment. Because the one thing that we kind of forget is that Hiyori got the ball, but Rin just stole it from him, and he starts dribbling past all the Iron Wall quartet, and he literally does throw someone over his shoulder.
Yep.
Like Rin at this moment is just being a beast. However, like when Isagi's there with him, like Isagi's trying to like reach out to him, but because of how like just because of just how single-minded he is in this moment, he just ignores Isagi, which causes Aiku, you know, obviously because of Shido like holding him as well. Yeah. Like it causes Aiku to be able to stop the shot, and that's where the second instance of post Itoshi occurs. because of him being irrational with Destroyer mode, it causes post Itoshi to occur.
Yep.
And then obviously, you know, Rin stops Sai, and then like Isagi scores the goal, which obviously that's a good feat for Rin. No one's gonna take that away from him. I think Rin did fine in this match. Don't get me wrong.
Rin, this is not this is the beginning of the problem with the birth of Berserker Rin, but this is like Rin had a good performance this match with Berserker mode. Like everyone at this point probably thought that Berserker mode Rin was gonna be insane.
Yep.
Because it lined up to be. Berserker mode Rin looked like it was going to be like just genuine BTA the entire time he would be on the field. But then and do you mind if I kick off the Neo Egoist League?
Yeah, just one thing before we talk about the Neo Egoist League. We just have to quickly mention that about the Sai and Rin interaction at the end of the match.
Oh
because
my God.
he calls Isagi Yoichi like the striker that will change Japan's football culture, or change like Japan's like, you know, it'll change. Oh my God, he'll be able to change Japan's football essentially. And Rin kind of just like tweaks the F out, and that's where Rin starts to call Isagi his rival.
Yeah.
Which that's where the downfall of Rin, in my opinion, starts, is when Rin starts to hyper focus on Isagi.
Yes.
And now, you can kick it off with the Neo Egoist League.
So the Neo Egoist League is a very exciting time, in my opinion, because we get to see what everyone is going to come back and do. No one really knew what the Neo Egoist League would contain. Like, we didn't know it was going to be the different teams, the tournament, all that. We see Rin choose Loki. That's fine, whatever, cool. And then we get the results of, I think it was Ubers versus PXG, right?
Yeah.
And it was a 3-2. Now, we do not know who scored what goals, but I think it can be assumed, because Rin was shown, Rin scored majority of the goals in that match, right?
One thing I just want to keep in mind is that Rin was able to do that goal that he wasn't able to do against Aiku in that match in base mode, which is good. Because if Rin kept on relying on Destroyer mode, like during these like filler matches, then he would just be a Destroyer mode merchant. But thank God he wasn't Rin like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like we don't see real signs of, like, and again, this is where the problem happens. We don't see signs of Destroyer mode Rin until he starts thinking about Isagi.
Yep.
That's when it's like, you know,
what's it called? Because obviously Rin is absent throughout the majority of the Neo Egoist League, so we don't really have a good idea of like how he's really like doing or thinking for the majority of it. It's only really once we get to the PXG match where we kind of see Rin's mentality. And it's kind of strange that both, like, obviously we have to keep in mind Shido is also on PXG, so obviously that is going to cause a conflict,
right?
Obviously, after what we saw in the third selection. So what Loki did is he made specific teams for Rin and Shido, in order for them to, be able to compete,
Right.
which is so stupid. Because this is kind of also showing that Rin, if he really does not like someone, he will not really want to work with them,
And
which
that
is also going to be the reason why they kind of, lose.
yeah.
But
And that is a major problem.
and Rin also gets an upgrade. He also gets his person because Isagi's on his team. He kind of needs someone to kind of fill in that void. So he calls Nanase in to be, in quotes, his slave,
which
is crazy.
Literally, like there's no way around that either. That's what it
Rin
was.
says.
That is what Rin says. That is what it is.
So should we start talking about like what happened during the PXG match?
Yeah. So PXG, in my opinion, is probably like this is one of Rin's 2 worst performances now with the release of the newest chapter. At the time, it's 347 is the most recent, right?
Yep, it is 347.
Okay. So at the time of this like video, 347 is the most recent chapter for us. This is Rin's second worst performance. The first is 347. Now, with this match, the big thing that I personally would like to point out was this match was hyped up to be the 2 heavy hitters of each team versus each other. It was not that.
Yep.
We start the match, we see Shido and Charles get a goal. Cool. Yep. Right? Like that's great. That's like a fun, cool moment. There's not much else to that other than the fact that they do the same thing that Hiyori and Isagi did. Then we see we see Isagi get ready to score a goal. I would like to point out at this time, Isagi, listen, as Isagi can be sometimes, Mans has a lot of haters.
Yep.
He got guarded and surprise guarded not only by Kaiser and Rin.
Yep.
And what Isagi does in this moment, all props to him, he pulls off the shot. Which
it causes Rin to go into a bit of a baby mode, not gonna lie.
Yep.
Because like both Rin and Kaiser, like at this time.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Well, a little birdie said for reviewing Blue
Actually, wait, we actually kind of need you.
Yeah.
So we're making a Rin hit piece, and I kind of forget the majority of what happened in PXG.
No, I
like in regards to Rin.
Yeah, I remember a good chunk of it. But what I find crazy after that goal is right after this is when Rin just loses it. Like there's up until this point, we see Rin playing like we see how Rin plays like.
Wait, hold up, that's false information. He doesn't lose it just yet, because you got to remember, during this time, Kaiser was also like he was kind of going through a crisis. He couldn't do his Magnus at all, and he literally just whiffs it.
Which is,
so Kaiser does his what's it called? Why am I forgetting the exact? He does his Kaiser Impact Magnus.
Yep.
And also one thing I forgot to talk about was like Rin did try to get a goal attempt off at the beginning of this match, but it was stopped. Like he literally picks up Isagi. Kaiser like tries to stop it, but he misses, and Hiyori comes in to block the shot. And this is before Destroyer mode, and this is like expected of Rin. Rin should be a type of player where you kind of need multiple people to try to stop him.
Yep.
So thank God. But like definitely after Kaiser gets the Magnus, that's where Rin starts to freak out, and he kind of goes into Destroyer mode and starts dribbling. He does the same thing that he did to that defender in the U20 match against Corona. Corona goes flying. Rin gets a perfect opportunity to try to get a goal, but then he stops because he thinks the shot's too lukewarm.
Which is in my like this has to be one of the worst throws in Blue Lock, and this easily is foreshadowing for what is to come for Rin's character, because one of the big things, and oddly enough, who says it? Loki, when Rin does this, says, if this were the world stage, you'd be kicked off the field immediately.
Yep.
We're gonna save that little line for later.
We're definitely will.
But Rin, at this point, he and Rin, they could have won. They could have won.
Because if Rin got that goal and then he just did the crash goal like right after, then yeah, they would have won.
Exactly.
But
no,
obviously
he stopped so everyone could catch up.
Yep. He just needed to challenge himself, you know. He still viewed himself as lukewarm compared to Sai. Because Sai just had to glaze Isagi at the end of the U20 match.
Because he just had to. He just had
he really just had to.
He had to.
And also keep in mind, like Rin kind of was like eating ass during this match before he goes into destroyer mode.
Yeah.
Because like he gets beaten by Isagi and Kaiser in base, and he kind of just can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like all his goal attempts are just not going in.
But
so when he does go into destroyer mode and gets a clear opportunity, he just doesn't take it.
Which is ridiculous because he the entire purpose of this was like, oh, who's gonna win? Who's gonna be the number one?
Yeah, and Rin was kind of just not showing that for a good amount of the match until he gets into destroyer mode.
No, he was not. No, he was
And also,
not.
I mean, the crash out goal was cool. Obviously, he gives it to Charles, and Charles does that clean pass to him. And like Rin starts tweaking out, thinking Sai's right in front of him.
Which is
like, what the heck happened to Rin? I wish like we got like a Rin side story, because I feel like all of his cool and logic, like during the beginning of Blue Lock, just went away because he got some schizophrenia during the Neo Egoist League.
Exactly, and it just like there's a lot of just confusion as to why Rin does what Rin does, because like truly I can't make heads or tails of why he chose to do the things that he did. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
There's no rhyme or reason to anything. Normally with Rin, there's a clear thought process. Like even we see it during during all of his puppeteer matches. His thinking during this, when it came time to start, like, I don't know, maybe defending, his thought process was, if I stop Isagi, Kaiser can't pass to Isagi. I'm a genius. Like
he creates his little simple domain,
which is
and obviously the play that causes Rin to lose this match was just not passing. And thinking, you know what, I'm gonna crash into Kaiser. However, Kaiser got that abuse build, so he kind of can just tank whatever abuse is thrown at him, which was a clear miscalculation by Rin, of course, because he's just not thinking straight because he's in destroyer mode.
It's just like there's nothing during this match that is like that's sensible, because you know what I find crazy? At the very end of the match, like, Rin loses every piece of aura he could have possibly gained because, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked to me like Isagi made that damn goal unguarded.
He kind of did, yeah. Rin was behind him, so he couldn't, really stop that shot.
Like, hello?
Like, Isagi definitely was the better player in that match, like, no doubt about it. Like, just the way, like, definitely my favorite moment was, like, the Rin versus Isagi. But, like, Isagi, like, baits himself in order for Kaiser to block it, which is amazing. Like, I feel like Isagi, like, definitely, if Isagi just had the same fucking build as Rin, it wouldn't be that close of a rivalry. But because how short, and he does have long legs.
Hey, leave my short king alone!
He'll always be, like, outshined, and obviously Isagi's dribbling is non-existent, but it is what it is.
I mean, Isagi's dribbling isn't even that bad. He's just more of a, like, 1-2 passer, which isn't a bad thing. Like, he has some dribbling feats. They're just not ever going to be as good as, like, Rin's or Batra's, but that's because, like, the type of players they are.
And then one of the most controversial things that happened at the end of this is that Rin and Isagi tie as number one.
Which is ridiculous.
Which is crazy.
Rin does not, like, for pulling a, like, get kicked out of the match level offense, Rin getting that, nonsensical.
But also, we have to keep in mind, Rin did do good throughout the Neo Linguist League as a whole, compared to Isagi, who really did throw Barcha.
Yeah,
Which
which is like fair, but after that match, Asagi was the top player on his team.
Yep.
Like,
I no,
could,
I think when Ubers happened, that's when the switch happened.
Fair enough. I mean,
because Manshine, he got Metavision. He was still like working through his new abilities.
I think you could definitely say then, like, Barca he threw. I 100% agree. Manshine easily without Isagi's defense, they were done.
Yeah.
And then Ubers and PXG is when Isagi became the main attacker of the team.
Yeah.
I think,
but just because it took Isagi a while, it did cause them to just clash as number one.
Right.
But based off of what happened recently, I think both of them don't even deserve number one, and Barrow should be the new number one. Yeah.
All right. Hold your horses, man.
Who's gonna be the number one?
All right, sure. Let's definitely speed this up a bit because we have been yapping.
Who's my number one? My number one isn't even in Blue Log right now.
We also said we said 20 minutes. We are 40 minutes into this.
Holy,
yeah! So
you got a lot of content to work with.
We got to wrap it. I'm probably uploading this as its own video. This is a damn podcast. But like, okay.
Yep.
The last thing I would like to bring up is Rin's performance, both in. I feel like we can talk about them both at the same time, but his performance against Nigeria and his performance against France, because I'm gonna be honest, Rin did not do much.
Yeah, Rin was more of just 1-2 passing with Isagi to go up the field. Rin did try to shoot a goal in the beginning of Nigeria, but it gets blocked by Unazi. I mean, things happen. But
everyone has their shot get blocked by someone. Like, it's part of how Blue Lock has introduced so many characters. They block a shot or take a shot or steal the ball or like intercept a play, whatever. Like, fine, introduce a character, but then after that, he steals a goal from Isagi that match, right?
And that was kind of it. He doesn't really do much afterwards.
So this is case one of the Isagi merchant back at it again.
And then what's it called? One thing I keep in mind, like Rin's training during this was to make sure like he stays calm and he just goes into partial destroyer mode,
and not only rely on destroying.
Yup. Which, as we can see with the recent France match, it kind of just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
Because the only things that Rin does in that match, he does a dribble play against Loki. However, it gets blocked by Hugo. I mean, fine. You had to go up against two new Gen 11s, and, you lost, but that would happen to anyone if you're doing a 1v2 like that.
Right.
And then he just disappears. Like, where did he go? I mean, obviously he was on Loki during the majority of that, during the first half, but then afterwards he just disappears from the story, which is kind of messed up, because when reading like the old U20 match, I'm like, man, he used every character in that match very effectively. However, in the France match, I don't think he wrote that match really that well.
No, I agree. It felt like a lot of characters were underutilized or subbed out for different reasons. Like, it's not like, again,
like Bachira, oh, I'm tired.
Yeah, like Otoya, what was Otoya doing there, bro? Like, I get why, because it's, again, similar to what Noah did to Kaiser, but at the same time, like, what was the thought process,
Yeah. And then obviously we got to bring up Postman number 3, where obviously at the end of the match, Isagi beats Hugo by luck, and actually gets an open shot.
Which also, like, Isagi beats Hugo by luck, but also this, like, Isagi beat Hugo.
Yup.
Like, that is not you can't just laugh that off. And granted, Asagi beating Hugo does not mean Asagi is like chill from everything that happened that match. Asagi was getting the works, right?
Yep. I mean, I feel like anyone would get the works if they had to go up against Hugo. If I'm going to be honest, it's just that Isagi had to be the center forward that match. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
But like, dude, just Rin just screwing Isagi like that just shows, like, from when we see Rin at the beginning to now, it feels like Rin's whole soccer philosophy is just different. He's
Mhm.
so egotistical and so destroyer focused that it just caused all of his like cool and calculated, you know, strategies in the beginning of Blue Lock to just go all away.
Yeah.
And for someone that's supposed to be Blue Lock's #1 striker, like overall, he's not showing that he's a #1 striker in this U20 group stage so far,
Yeah,
which is so disappointing.
I 100% agree.
Like I think the author did a good job like throughout Blue Lock showing why Rin was #1. However, when it gets to this part of the story, it
There's
feels like the author is just not writing Rin well at all.
yeah, no, there's no like there's no #1 anymore. Like you can't see Rin as the #1 after this.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to, because like how can you call someone that throws an entire match #1?
Yeah, I mean, from what it looks like, it seems like Rin is kind of a group stage merchant, or he can only play during the Blue Lock facilities, but when he has to go out and play in these U20 matches, he's just not pulling numbers that I expect a #1 striker to be pulling.
He's not
We
at
see that
all.
when he almost throws away the U20 match against Japan.
Yep.
He does nothing in Nigeria besides stealing a goal. And then in France, he just does nothing. Like, we need our #1s. These kind of like SGA right now.
It's
Like,
just like there's no like you can't. It's so hard to like want to defend him, or you can't like it's so hard to defend him. Period, because like defending him is just impossible.
especially for a character that's supposed to have infinite dribble possibilities, puppeteer both allies and foes,
Mhm.
and taking crazy shots. By the way, I don't think Rin does a crazy predator eye shot like that ever again. Like I'm trying to like think about it, and I don't think he does anything crazy with like his pseudo predator
Nope.
eye,
He's never.
or
He has never used it.
like it's so disappointing, honestly.
Like yeah, because like it's just oh my god, it's so frustrating because like all the Rin fans were like, no, Rin's gonna steal it and score. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. There was no
Nah.
universe where Rin was going to score this final goal. And if you think that, you're just biased, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, Rin overall, I feel like definitely, I think a big factor of his decline in like writing is him definitely just being written out of the story for too long. I think
Yeah.
that it probably caused the author to try kind of forget about him a bit, especially since he didn't show up for so long in this story. But
And
I
it's
feel
just
like overall, man, I think just because the expectations for Rin is to be #1, like showing up when you need to be #1 during these group stage matches and during the U20 Japan arc, it is kind of infuriating a bit. Maybe in the last match of the group stage, he might. I mean, he might be benched, but who knows?
he might be, because after his performance, I would
I
not
mean,
be surprised.
Ego probably like would give him like an MVP award for doing that against Isagi. Like Ego loves people who play like that.
I don't know, but like there's a like there's because like he wasn't a fan of Yuki Miya's goal, where Yuki Miya kind of just got a lucky little kick in. Rin making that shot would have been lucky. Like,
Yeah, it's kind
or
of
just
crazy.
that would have been above his pay grade. Like, it's good that Rin missed and that shot was fumbled.
Not gonna lie, I think the worst downfall is Yuki Miya from #5 striker to only making 1 goal throughout all of Blue Lock.
Yeah. Like, you can't, again, writing is writing. You gotta, like, some characters obviously are gonna just shine less than others because they just ain't as important to the story. But, like, still, it's kind of insane. But, yeah, long and short
we can
of
cap
it
it off here.
Yeah, long and short of it is Rin Itoshi is a fraud. This is 50 minutes of us, like, talking about him, explaining why. If you guys want, like, I don't know, a part 2 with a different character, let me know, I guess. This is Rin Itoshi is a fraud. That is the title of the video. And Aiden, do you agree?
For now, unless something changes with this character, he kind of is.
I agree. Well, that's it, everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.